What's up, guys? So today we're going to be solving 1523, count odd numbers in an interval range. So this was a recent daily in LeetCode. Basically, what the problem is telling us to do is, given two non-negative integers, low and high, return the count of odd numbers between low and high, and that's inclusive. So basically, what they're asking us is the number of odd numbers inside a given range, which is defined by two numbers that they're going to give us inside the function. So really, there's like two main ways to think about this. The main way that I thought of right away, which turned out to be the wrong way of solving this, would be to basically, you loop through everything given the range. So for example, 3 to 7, right? I'm going to do a while loop and then basically do the modulus operator to figure out if it's an odd or even number, and then count the number of odd numbers inside the while loop, and then stop it once I've looped through the entire range. Now, this works great for low amounts of numbers, but for example, 3 to 10 million, it's way too high. So this would give you a time limit exceeded, and then you'd end up failing the LeetCode question. But there's actually a better way of solving this, and that's by taking advantage of the fact that we know between every single consecutive grouping of numbers that we're going to have at least one odd number. So for example, if we had this range, then we know that we can make pairs 3 and 4, right? And pairs 5 and 6. So now we know that between these two, there's going to be one odd number. Between these two, there's going to be one odd number. Now, since our range was odd, we're going to be left with one final number, which all we have to do is kind of just check if it's an odd or even number and add a +1 to our final answer based if it was a odd or even number. Now, if our range was even, we wouldn't have to worry about that. So for example, if this was an 8, then we'd simply do 7 or 8, and then we know that that will have one odd number. So let's code this out and see how it looks like in Python. All right, so let's code this out. Count equals 0 because we need to keep track of our count. And then we need to basically create or calculate the number of groupings, which is pretty easy. We just do high minus low, and all of that divided by 2. And then we need our if statement to basically increment if our final number is odd or even. And we're going to check both ranges and just do an OR just to be safe. So that would just simply be pi does not equal, modulus 0, that modulus 2 does not equal, and or same thing, but for the low number. And if that happens, we add a 1. And we simply return count. Let's see what happens. All right, there we go. So let's test it and see our results. There we go. So we beat 95% of people, and our memory isn't that bad either. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. And stay tuned for the next one.